I don't know if the word that I'm looking for is amused or amazed, but I know that I'm one of those two every time I see certain shit from people. So I was on Twitter earlier today, and some account, I can't remember which account it was, but it was an account that posted the picture of, I talked about it in the episode yesterday, but it was a picture of Kobe and Gigi, the statue that they put at the crash site of where they died. RIP to Kobe, Gigi, and all the people who died in that crash. And somebody on Twitter in the comment section tweeted, "This is so disrespectful to the other people who died in the crash." Now, for a second, just ignore the fact that the statue of Gigi and Kobe had all the names of the people who died in that crash on the statue. Like, not even in tiny letters. Legit a list of the names. Kobe and Gigi are the two people. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that I gotta explain this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of ridiculous, but obviously Kobe and Gigi, the two, known people, one of them, the world knows them. Obviously, those are the two people who you put on the statue. It's no regular people, and I hate to say this like this, but us average people don't just get statues built for us. You know what I'm saying? Kobe left a certain type of legacy in which you would do that for him, and you still respect the other victims in that crash by putting their names on that plaque also. But what it showed me was in that comment where it was like, this is so it's just motherfuckers is willing to be mad about anything. For one, he didn't read the picture or an article that explained that it was, the other people who passed away in that crash was on the statue. He just wanted to be mad. He just instantly wanted to be mad. I also think it's amazing that every time you see these accounts on Twitter where it's people who so vulgar and so explicit in shit that they say, they never have profile pictures of themselves. They always have profile pictures of like NBA YoungBoy or some like anime or something stupid. Like, they never have, or an athlete. They never have pictures of themselves. You know what I'm saying? So how tough are they really? Like, how like you posted that comment thinking you was gonna cause a riot or something, or a revolution, and really you got people looking at you like, damn, bro, you really chose to be you chose this situation to be mad about. Like, what? I prefer you just say you don't like Kobe Bryant and move on, bro, rather than trying to make it seem like the dude who made a statue a dickhead because he didn't make 11 statues of all the victims. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I read in the article, because I actually did my reading on this, the dude said he planned on putting a statue right there permanently, but I also believe, I could be wrong, that he want to actually build sculptures of those other people who was in the crash also. Now, maybe that's not the intent and I just read that wrong, but I believe that's what I read. Now, like I said, I could have read that wrong, so don't hold me to that. But either way, that's not the point of this. The point is, I'm constantly amazed and amused by shit people choose to be mad about, by shit people choose to be angry about. And then he say it's so disrespectful to those other people. How? Like, I just don't understand some people, man. I think some people just love being mad. Some people love being angry. Some people look at a happy situation and say, how can I fuck that up? Like, how can I get the venom out of that situation? And I don't really understand that. Like, that's very confusing to me. Like, very confusing to me. But either way, what's good with it? How y'all doing today, man? I hope you're chilling. I hope you're having a dope day. I hope you're vibing. Yo, I plan on starting the Have a Dope Day initiative, or the Have a Dope Day project one day. I'm doing a lot of things. It's been on my mind a lot lately. I had to say it, so there that is. But I hope y'all having a dope day, man. The championship games, they are upon us. I can't wait. We've been talking about it all week. We're gonna talk about it some more this tonight, but we're gonna talk about a lot of other shit tonight also, like we normally do. Shout out to LeBron and KD, all-star captains for the all-star game. I know we don't talk about basketball on here, but shout out to them. I also have to do something that I didn't plan on doing, and I kept contemplating. I kept going back and forth in my head earlier today. Like, am I gonna mention this tonight? I am. So I'm very critical of Joel Embiid, and I don't watch basketball right now, but I do watch the highlights on Twitter and I don't even watch the highlights on YouTube. I just know Joel Embiid is balling right now. Like, I don't live under a rock. I know Joel Embiid's been on a run right now, and so credit to Joel Embiid. Let's see if he can keep it up. I'm not gonna shit on Ben Simmons just because Joel Embiid playing great, and I'm pretty sure he know it'll be easier for him to do what he's doing if he had been. But that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna give him his credit, his flowers, and move on. Shout out to him. But enough of that NBA shit, bro. We was talking about the coaching decision for the Bears yesterday. It just came out that Brian Daboll is the head coach for the Giants. I think that's a great hire. I think that's a better hire than hiring Brian Flores. I know people saying that they might hire Brian Flores, but listen. I'm not happy that an African American man couldn't get a job, but what I am. But with that being said, in this NFL, I talked about it yesterday. I would take an offensive coordinator as my next head coach over a defensive-minded head coach. Just because the way the NFL is going right now, you have to be able to score points. You can find a way to. Defenses don't even have to be great nowadays. I mean, look at the Bills. That was the number one defense this year, and they are at home now because of a historically bad ending to that Chiefs game. So, to me, defenses, and I really hate to say this because I'm a defensive dude, but defenses is a little overrated right now. To me, I saw somebody talking about it on ESPN the other day, bro. Outside of Belichick and I think the Seahawks, every team that's done won a Super Bowl since those two teams have been led by offensive-minded head coaches and a quarterback. Like, it's very rare that defensive teams and defensive head coaches win in the NFL nowadays. So that's why I'm so critical on Baltimore getting this a new offensive coordinator, and they still haven't fired Greg Roman, which only tells me that Greg Roman will be the offensive coordinator for Baltimore next year, bro. Like, that's all that tells me, bro. I saw one of my homeboys had messaged me today on Twitter. One of my homies messaged me today on Twitter, and he was like, bro, they talking about trading Lamar. And I had just woke up from a nap when he had tweeted me that. It's not even a nap. I basically had just woke up from being asleep, because I don't take naps. I take cush naps, but this wasn't one of those. That had been me waking up for the first time. But I woke up to after I brushed my teeth and did all that. When I looked at my phone, because believe it or not, I don't look at my phone as soon as I get up. If I get my phone when I get up, it's to turn on music, to listen to music while I'm doing all the shit that I gotta do to prepare for the day. It's not to check messages or nothing like that. And sometimes I'll see that I got multiple messages and I'll feel bad, because I'll be like, some of them shits be like 2 hours ago, 3-4 hours ago, and I'm like, damn, I should get to it. But then I'll think to myself, one more hour ain't gonna hurt him. You know what I'm saying? And I know that shit rude, but you know what I'm saying? A brother got to brush his teeth, do whatever I be doing to this fucking hair I got, man. I'm probably gonna get cornrows in a couple, bro. I'm gonna let them shits be in my head for probably a month. Then I'm gonna take them out, because I used to have locks. Now I don't have locks. I just got a whole bunch of fucking hair. And so I don't know what to do, man. I got this receding hairline, so you know, I'm down bad right now, but I still look good, so I'm not worried about that. You gotta always, you know, don't be telling yourself you look ugly, bro. What Pat say? Because you're listening. I'll never tell myself I'm looking ugly, bro. Maybe rough, but never ugly, bro. There's too many people out there willing to hate on you. You can't be hating on yourself. Come on now. But yo, I like the Brian Daboll hire, because I just believe after seeing what Brian Daboll got out of Josh Allen, I mean, now he getting to work with Galladay, Barkley. If Barkley can stay healthy, that's a good piece for the team. He could probably revive Sterling Shepard's career. My only thing is, I'm not really big. See, I like Daboll, and I got a lot of confidence in him. That's why I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt as far as Daniel Jones. That's why I'm not writing Daniel Jones off completely yet. But I don't think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. But I do believe if somebody's going to be able to turn him around, it was going to be Brian Daboll, not Flores. Like, I like Brian Flores, but I do kind of think he's a little bit overrated. I understand people say, oh, the Dolphins haven't had a winning season and such, and I get all that. But relationships and how you treat people, how you talk to people, all that type of stuff matter, bro. It just is what it is. I understand. I'm pissed off that it ain't black quarter. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm pissed off, but I'm a little, it does bother me that they're not hiring black head coaches. To me specifically, Eric Bieniemy should be hired. I think Brian Leftwich gonna get the job in Jacksonville, and I don't have no insiders and nothing like that. That's just based off of the shit that I'm listening to on ESPN, Fox, and all the other analysts and shit. But to me, the Raiders are trying to hire Josh McDaniels, bro. I really don't know. For one, tell me how many black head coaches could be about to get a job and then just say, you know what, never mind, I'm going to stay where I'm at, and turn down a job the day that you supposed to come in and take the job. Like, how many coaches can do what McDaniels did to the Colts and still know that they're going to get another job down the line? Like, come on, bro. That's, to me, it's just, it is wild the shit that some of these coaches can get away with. But on top of that, bro, Bill Belichick has a losing coaching tree. The only dude that's come out of his coaching tree, which truly don't count, is Variable. Variable played for him. That was a player. So to me, that don't really truly count. But everybody else that come for Belichick's coaching tree has been mid. So I don't understand how I don't understand McDaniels getting this opportunity. He coached before. I think it was the Broncos he had that he didn't really do a great job with. But listen, I don't understand. Well, okay, so check this out. I like offensive coordinators getting the opportunity to be coaches. Here's the thing. I understand Brian Daboll as a candidate. I see his offense in Buffalo. I see what he did, the evolution of Josh Allen. I can point to what, the positives in Brian Daboll's resume. I can look at, hell, you could even look at Greg Roman in the MVP season. And the fact of the matter is, as much as I don't like Greg Roman, the Ravens put up great offensive numbers. I think that's more to do with Lamar than it have to do with Greg Roman. But the fact of the matter is, his name is attached to it. You got Joe Lombardi with the Chargers. Like, it's offensive. Brian Leftwich. It's offensive head coaches who I can understand getting, interviews and whatnot. Hell, Eric Bieniemy. I do not understand the Josh McDaniels one, because for one, the Patriots wasn't even good this year based off of offense. They were good because of their defense. And then when the offense started playing against good quarterbacks at the end of the season, they started losing those games. And we saw how they lost in the playoffs. Now, I understand that you can't, when the offense on the opposing team goes 7 for 7 and all 7 of them bitches is touchdowns, yeah, it's going to be hard to win that game. But when the defense let them down, they could not count on the offense to go to participate or take part in a shootout. So I'm not understanding how what did coaches see, what did owners or GMs see from Josh McDaniels that made them say, oh yeah, he gonna be great with my offense in the future and leading this. What? Like, I don't understand how we keep recycling bad head coaches, bro. I just don't understand it. So we put him with Belichick the last couple years and Brady, and now we all of a sudden Josh McDaniels is a great head coach. I just don't understand that. But you'll use the excuse, oh, well, Eric Bieniemy has Patrick Mahomes. Well, Josh McDaniels' best years number-wise is when he had Brady. So I'm not understanding. And then people say, like, oh, well, some of these dudes is young, they got to go through the world. Bieniemy done had opportunities and they still won't hire him. I don't want to hear this shit about D'Amico Ryans and getting his opportunity, because they talking about Kellen Moore is about to get a head coaching job possibly in Miami. Like, what? Bro, the Chargers head coach, Staley, he was the defensive coordinator for the Rams one year. You see the fucking people he got on that team, but we gave him the credit, and somehow he got a job off of his first try, but D'Amico Ryans won't, and he done that job with the 49ers, shutting out Aaron Rodgers the way he just did. Like, I'm not understanding. Like, to me, this is clearly, it's like Shannon said, bro. You got these white owners who gonna hire white dudes that look, talk, sound like them, bro, who view shit the way they view it, bro. It just is what it is. And it's sad to see, but what can you do? What can you do? Because at the end of the day, it don't matter what rules that Roger Goodell and the NFL implement. These motherfuckers are gonna hire who they want to hire. And the sad thing is, I heard somebody one time, and I seen people tweet about, well, the black coaches who get jobs don't do a good job. That's false, for one. And most of these dudes don't even get the amount of time that white head coaches get. The only reason Mike Tomlin's still hired is because he done had Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers don't hire coaches. Because if Mike Tomlin had to put up some of the done some of, even though he haven't had a losing record, if he had the seasons he done had the last couple seasons, with another organization, bad organization would have fired him. It just is what it is. Because if you're a black quarterback head coach, you just don't get that type of leeway. And I heard Shannon also say, you look at a coach like John Harbaugh, a great head coach, obviously, but how many black special teams coaches are getting interviewed for head coaching opportunities? John Harbaugh was a special teams head coach that got interviewed for the Baltimore Ravens head coach. Now, hindsight is 2020. Obviously, he done a phenomenal job, won a Super Bowl. He's a great head coach. However, how many black special teams coaches are getting interviewed for head coaching jobs? My man DeMeco Ryans can't even get, and he was a former player. He was a great player. Now he's clearly a great defensive hook. Andy Reid had to come out and say that Eric Bieniemy is the one calling plays. When the fuck is the last time a coach had to come out and vouch for a coordinator like that? Like, Andy Reid clearly see that there's some bullshit that everybody is giving. And I really think it's racist as shit for one anyways, because any offensive-minded person under Sean McVay, you know Sean McVay is calling the plays. Yet you do not question that offensive coordinator's credentials. Any coordinator to get hired after they worked with Matt LaFleur or like the dude who just got hired for the Broncos, that motherfucker was not calling plays. Matt LaFleur clearly is the play caller. I don't see nobody questioning his resume. Anybody who come from under the Sean McVay tree, they clearly don't call plays. Sean McVay is clearly the play caller. Nobody questions them. But for some reason, people question Andy Reid. I'm Eric Bieniemy, and they want to give every excuse. Oh, he got Pat Mahomes. Oh, Andy Reid called the plays. Oh, he got Travis Kelce and Tyreek. Like, what kind of shit is that? It's real funny how most of the best head coaches in the league tend to have the best players on their team. Whether they draft those players and mold them into that, or whether they sign them in free agency or trade for them. Regardless, a lot of the best coaches in the NFL have great players on their team. You can even look at Kyle Shanahan, and I'm going to get to the Jimmy G slander in a minute. But even when you look at the 49ers, yeah, you can say Jimmy G ain't a top-notch quarterback, but they have talent on that team. Trent Williams, Deebo Samuels, George Kittle. Like, all of the top teams with the best head coaches have a lot of talent on their team. So this excuse that you're using to hold back Bieniemy just don't make sense to me. Like, I just don't get it. The Raiders have a golden opportunity to flip this franchise, to bring in a offensive coordinator who's succeeded at the highest level, to match with Derek Carr in this offense, and you are going to go with all I'm going to tell you is Josh McDaniels is going to be out of that job in less than 5 years. And the only reason I'm giving it so long is because white head coaches tend to get longer to fail than black coaches. It just is what it is. You can say I'm being racist. You making this a black and white issue. Well, that's because that's what it is. White coaches have far longer time to fail than black coaches. Steve Wilkes, the head coach David Culley for the Texans last year. It's multiple examples of black head coaches who do not get nearly the amount of time to succeed. And I know some people will throw out the anomaly white head coaches like Urban Meyer. What's the dude Freddie Kitchens? Those are anomalies. And those were dudes who were so bad at their jobs that they had no choice but to let them go. Urban Meyer should have got fired after he pulled that stunt in Cincinnati, I believe it was. But let's talk about Jimmy G. Porn star Jimmy. Y'all know how I feel about Jimmy G. I fucks with Jimmy G hard. Pause. Now, I done heard a lot of people say, analysts, and I saw Marcellus and them talking about it earlier today, that it don't matter what happened, Jimmy G is gone at the end of the season. Listen, I don't know if that's true or not, but it would make sense. Like, Trey Lance, you have to be grooming him to be ready to take over. I get it. You don't draft Trey Lance that high to have him sit forever. But having him sit for another year would not shock me, to be honest. But I saw the Jeff Garcia Instagram post, or wherever the fuck he posted that long ass paragraph about Mina Combs. And I also saw Mina Combs' comments on Jimmy Garoppolo, where she said he the example of and I'm gonna say both quotes. Jimmy, I don't want people to think, oh, well, he's saying Mina Combs to take so people can take it. No. That's not the situation. What you gotta understand is Mina Combs' quote was quick and simple. Jeff Garcia posted a fucking paragraph, so I have to paraphrase that when I can just, hit Mina front Combs shit real quick. But she was like, Jimmy G is the perfect example of working in a group project and doing absolutely nothing and getting an A on it. And listen, it's a funny quote. It was a funny quote. I don't think it's a true quote, but I do think it's funny. But Garcia basically posted this long ass message where he was basically saying, like, Mina Combs don't know what she talking about. Like, he was being hella disrespectful. It wasn't hella disrespectful. I done seen worse and read worse. But he was basically telling her she should stay in her place as far as, like, never playing the sport and judging athletes and you never played the game. And he basically didn't like her taking that shot at Jimmy G. And a lot of people came to Mina Combs' side and was like, well, a lot of analysts talk trash about Jimmy G, so you attacking Mina Combs don't really make sense. It's sexist. And I get that. I'd come to Mina Combs' side probably too. I'm a little bit biased though, because I like Mina Combs. I think she's pretty. Mina Combs, to me, clearly know what she talk. For one, let's go ahead and kill this shit where you gotta play the sport to talk about the sport. That's fucking stupid. Some of the most knowledgeable people, like some of the people I done been around who hella knowledgeable about sports, never fucking played a sport in their life. Dead ass. Like, I done been around people who could tell you the ins and outs of sports. Not even stats type shit. Like, they just know sports, but they never played the game a day in their life. Like, they might have wanted to, but they realized, like, nah, either I'm not gonna do the work that it take to, to do it, or it's just not for me. But I love watching it. Like, I know motherfuckers like that who digest the game on a whole different level, but they never played it. So you can kill this nonsense where you have to play the game and talk about the game. That's just fucking stupid. Like, that's outrageously stupid. So I get people being mad at that. And I do get people being mad saying, like, this might be a sexist situation. Listen, I don't know if Jeff Garcia is sexist. But I do understand people saying dudes done said shit about Jimmy G. Because it has been male analysts that say shit about Jimmy G. So, for him to only attack Mina Combs, that was kind of weird. Like, I don't fucking know what Jeff Garcia watch on a daily basis, what come through his airlines and shit like that. But it is kind of weird taking that shot at Mina Combs when a lot of different analysts talk crazy on Jimmy G. Now, Mina Combs' comment was funny, and I don't think it was, nothing out of the ordinary on what people done said before. I just think analysts say, and I done said this before, I like Mina, but like that kind of is like a disrespectful quote. Like, that's not even constructive criticism. Like, that's just straight up being funny and being disrespectful. And I tweeted under the comment, I was like, yo, it's hilarious, but it's not true. And I really should have said was, it's disrespectful as hell also. And I actually posted a tweet where I was like, what she said wasn't true. It was funny, but it was kind of disrespectful because, like, you basically saying all of the success the 49ers have had and Jimmy G just basically riding along for it, like he has no hand in it. And I just think that's 1,000, like, that's not possible. It's 100% false, bro. Like, if you watch the 49ers play, Jimmy G is not Aaron Rodgers. Jimmy G is not Tom Brady. But it's very funny to me that as great as Aaron Rodgers is in the season, Jimmy G's better than him in the postseason. It just is what it is. You cannot describe or try to justify how a motherfucker find ways to continue to win. This team clearly rallied behind Jimmy G. Jimmy G still have to make those throws. Like, Jimmy G is not perfect throughout the entirety of a game. I get that. But Jim, to say he don't do nothing, that he just riding along, that's false. Now listen, Jimmy G on the big stage has had some glaring mistakes, some bad underthrows, overthrows. I get that. But this team do not get to this position without Jimmy G also. Jimmy G might not play the role of an Aaron Rodgers on his team, where they ask him to be the best player on the offense and carry the offense. But Jimmy G, like I done said multiple times, knows his job and does his job well in this system. And listen, I just think it's funny, and this is not pertaining to Mina. This is everybody who talk about Jimmy G. I just think it's funny that everybody keeps saying, oh, put Trey Lance in, blah, blah, blah. When I said early in the season, when Jimmy G got hurt with the thumb injury or whatnot, and they had to put Trey Lance in the second time, and he had that good second half in that game and whatnot, and everybody thought, oh, this is the beginning of Trey Lance, And I came on the show and I said, listen, as much as y'all like Trey Lance, I like Trey Lance. I said, listen, the type of person and coach that Kyle Shanahan is he is a winner. And if he believe in his heart of hearts that Jimmy G give him the best possible chance of winning, then when Jimmy G say he healthy, if he think that Jimmy G still give him the best chance of winning, Jimmy G is going to be reinserted into the offense as the starter. And y'all gonna be shocked, and y'all gonna be talking about some, oh, that's a stupid decision, blah, blah, blah. But Jimmy G's win-loss record says that Kyle Shanahan is making the right decision when he puts Jimmy G in as his starter when Jimmy G is healthy. It is what it is. And I kind of got an affinity for this team because I said halfway through the season, once they finally started getting going, I said, yeah, this team is going to make the playoffs. They're not going to lose their spot. It got a little bit rocky at the end. Now, I didn't think they was going to be doing what they're doing right now. But every round, I kind of done picked them basically because Kyle Shanahan to me is a better coach than every coach he done coached against so far in the playoffs. I think he a better coach than Sean McVay, but I do believe Sean McVay and Matt LaFleur are great head coaches. I just believe that Kyle Shanahan, it's just something about a head coach who know he great and he does not have a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback starting for him. When a coach know he that great and he come into a game knowing he have a chance when he don't have the best quarterback on the field ever, really, then that say something. You got to understand, this is a dude who playing in the division with Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Matthew Stafford. And he go into all those games thinking to himself, yeah, I'm a better coach and I'm going to outcoach these dudes. And Sean McVay haven't been able to beat him. So, and I saw Emmanuel Acho say something that's so true. The way Kyle Shanahan called a game against the Rams, he make it so where Jalen Ramsey is of no use and Aaron Donald is of no use to them. He does not allow their great players to be in position to be great. And that's one of the things that make Kyle Shanahan so great. I'm telling you, Kyle Shanahan is an insane head coach, bro. You remember in the beginning of the season when people was trying to compare him to Matt Nagy and was like, well, Matt Nagy got just as good a record and all that shit. Yeah. That will never happen again. Y'all need to apologize to Kyle for that shit. I'm telling you, I knew it was crazy when people were saying that shit. I was like, oh, boy. That how low can you really snoop? This really a what have you done lately type of lead for some motherfuckers, bro. It'll be insane if but let me finish off my thoughts on Mina Combs. Regardless, I don't think Jeff Garcia really should have had that type of energy for Mina. Like, I think that type of energy was unnecessary. Like, I don't really think Mina said nothing wrong. Even though I don't agree with what she said, I don't think she said nothing wrong in terms of it's analysts out there saying far worse shit on a regular basis. Like, you must not listen to motherfuckers like Skip Bayless who talk shit on athletes all the time, and it has nothing pertaining to do with the field. Like, he got disrespectful nicknames for every athlete he does not like. Like, Um, I like Colin Cowherd, but he done talked crazy on athletes before. You got what's the it's an analyst I do not like, Rob Parker. I think he's a trash analyst altogether, but he talked crazy. So you can't, and I mean, to Twitter's credit, they do get kind of crazy when anybody talk crazy, but I don't think he should have had that type of energy for Mina, because it's it's analysts out there who nowhere near, to me, as good at their jobs as Mina, and who clearly don't do enough or nowhere near the homework that Mina does, and is not nowhere near as knowledgeable. Like, I'm looking at some of these dudes who big name guys who clearly don't watch full games. They just sit back and watch highlights and shit. And I done listened to Mina break down multiple games where you could tell she watched the whole game, where she not just watching highlights and shit. So I don't think he should have had that type of energy for it. If he really sat down and listened to her and didn't just, decide to pay attention to her when she said something that was clickbait worthy, I think he would recant his statements about her not being able to talk about football, because she clearly knowledgeable and know what she talking about. Like, that's some hating ass shit, Jeff. And when it come to Jeff, I mean, I don't agree with the bullshit ass paragraph he decided to type up. He could have just said he don't agree with Mina and moved on. I do think it's weird to have that type of energy for Mina, though, when it's a whole bunch of analysts out there saying crazier shit on athletes and shit. So I don't really know what that's all about, especially when you want to say Jimmy G. Like, I hear somebody take a shot at Jimmy G on a regular basis, bro. So, and that's been happening for the past couple years. Like, that's not even something that just happened. So I don't know, man. I think he got into one of them little situations where it's a stay in the kitchen type of attitude he had flow through his head when he saw Mina roast him like that, and he saw motherfuckers laughing, and he instantly thought to himself, oh, a woman not gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? And he got a little bit embarrassed for Jimmy G, like he was Jimmy G or some shit. I don't know, but listen, man. When you start to get your feelings hurt for people who making $1 million, man, that's a tough life to live, to be sad for millionaires all the time. And I'm not saying don't have empathy and things like that, but to start living out they lives for them to try to feel everything that they supposed to feel, and that's a weird life to live, Jeff. I promise you, my boy Jimmy G gonna be fine. Plus his teammates then came to his and mind you, Jimmy G's teammates then came to his back without being disrespectful and sexist and ignorant like Jeff Garcia. So it's ways to handle shit. And I'm not, listen, bro, I'm saint, but I'm no saint. So I'm not saying I wouldn't have handled the situation like Jeff Saturday. I know that about not Jeff Saturday, like Jeff Garcia. I do know that about myself. But I mean, I might get mad one day and say something. Nah, I wouldn't say nothing like that. So yeah, not quite sure why that bothered Jeff. And that, well, I mean, I do know why it bothered him, because I know people like Jeff, and I guess when I was I never really had that type of energy, that alpha male type of energy people be talking about, alpha males. I ain't never had that alpha male type of energy, bro. Jeff Saturday giving off that alpha male type of energy. I think that's what they be talking about, that toxic masculinity. I remember I was playing a video game one time. I can't remember if it was Call of Duty or if it was Halo, but it was just like 3-month span where I was like, you know what, bro, fuck this, bro, because I had got tired of these little kids talking hella shit to me, bro, because I had got to the point where I don't even turn, I have my headset on, but I have it muted, because most of the time these games make it so that you don't even have to have your headset on, bro. But these little kids that just got on my fucking nerves with all this shit talk, bro. So I just got on the shit, and I told my homegirl one time, because I actually got a homegirl who used to play video games with me. And I said, you know what, bro, I'm finna bring toxic masculinity back, bro. And I started going nuts on these little kids, bro. I told one kid, bro, that I had his address, and I'd come slap him and his mom if he don't stop talking to me, bro. Motherfucker, I'm not kidding, bro. You gotta just tell some of these kids sometimes. You just gotta let them know, bro. Like, I fully support the ninja calling them kids little shits, bro. Because these kids are wild, bro. I know y'all done seen the thing where the little kid was just, pussy, 1v1 me. Like, I know y'all saw that little kid doing that, bro. These kids are wild nowadays, bro. My little cousin, bro. No, my little nephew. This dude is, I think he like 4. He can rap the Kodak Black Gremlins. but he cannot say his ABCs, bro. Is that wild or no, bro? Or he can't count to how far should a 4-year-old be able to count to? Because the furthest he can count to is like 8. Then he starts saying crazy shit. But he can rap the chorus to Super Gremlin. And he can rap. He like the why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down. Every time I walk around singing that, and he around me, if he around me, or if I stop by and I'm near him, if I start singing that, he'll start singing that shit too, bro, in his high pitched voice. His name Chris, bro. Show love. But I do think Jimmy G done been heavily disrespected, bro. It's quarterbacks who we love who ain't done. Well, I fuck with Jimmy G, but it's quarterbacks who we look at in a higher light than Jimmy G, who has not even been able to do. Like, you still got to remember, Aaron Rodgers had opportunities last game and last year against the Bucks to win those games, and he still couldn't get it done. It have to be said. It says something about Jimmy G that in these moments he is able to make the plays that he have to make. Is he having a perfect game going out there throwing for 300 something plus yards, 4-5 touchdowns, no picks? No. That man haven't even thrown a touchdown in the playoffs yet. He got 2 interceptions or 3 interceptions. But that just speaks to the fact that it's a team game, and this is the ultimate team. They winning off of being a great team. I done seen so many people hype up, and I don't want to disrespect Daboll, but I done seen people like, I saw somebody have a ranking of the top players left in the playoffs the other day, and Daboll Samuel was like number 3 on the list. I think it was Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd, one of the biggest in the moment, trapped in the prisoner of the moment motherfuckers I ever seen in my life. Like, I'm telling you, bro, unless he just don't like somebody, or he just know for a fact something gonna be garbage, he one of the biggest prisoners of the moment I ever seen, bro. And I think the reason he hyped Joe Burrow up so much is because Joe Burrow done came on the show. Joe Burrow's smart. He know who to get in his pocket. The first analyst on ESPN or Fox that Lamar Jackson do an interview with, he gonna have them in his pocket. I want him to do an interview with Pat McAfee though. I don't want him to do no interview with nobody else, bro. Especially the one dude who I definitely don't want him to give Stephen A that type of TV time and ratings, bro. Fuck Stephen A. Coon Smith. But I don't want him to do it with Shannon either, bro. Cause Shannon be hating on him, bro, and be throwing shade and sneak dissing, bro. I want him to do Pat McAfee, even though I don't like how they talk about Lamar sometimes. Pat McAfee seemed to be one of the consistent ones who actually like Lamar, who talk good on Lamar, who I've rarely ever heard him say anything negative about Lamar. Like, I don't want Lamar. He could sit down and do an interview with Miss Lisa if he want to, bro. Or what's my man, Chris Collinsworth. But I don't want to see him sitting down talking to people who constantly be hating on him, bro. I'm good on that. And I'm not hating on Joe Burrow. Please don't think I'm hating on Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is a stud. I just think the credit that people give Joe Burrow for being good, they do not give Lamar that same credit. Jeff Garcia really do gotta chill, though. I can't believe he took the time out of his day to type that long ass shit. And I think at the end of that shit, he was like, can I get an amen, or who feeling me, or who agree with me, or some shit like that at the end of it. I'm like, yo, man, this dude really hitting the goofball type levels of stupidity. You can't explain it. Sometimes people who rich, man, they just got too much free time on their hands, bro. Jeff Garcia clearly had too much free time on his hands. I don't even know how he decided to catch that Mina statement, but he don't catch none of the other statements, bro. That's kind of fishy, Jeff. That kind of made me think you a little bit scared of some of the other analysts, the men who be talking. I don't know, bro. I'm not trying to test your gangster and your manlyhood, but it's a real suspect choosing to attack a woman. I I don't know, man. It's a pretty interesting situation. But listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all for a second. And I know when you do this and you talk about teams and all that, you're supposed to be unbiased. But to my credit, this was a Baltimore Ravens heavy channel at first, and I realized, no, I want to do a lot of sports and talk about all the teams. I don't want to just talk about Baltimore. But I do hope that Kansas City put their foot in the Bengals' ass on Sunday. I don't want Joe Burrow to make it to the to the Super Bowl. I want that motherfucker to stink it up, but I just don't think that's going to happen because I don't trust Kansas City's defense. I think this is going to be one of them games where What's funny is I believe Cincinnati's defense will get a stop before KC's defense will. And I saw somebody talk about today will Mahomes and them boys coming off of that game where they like have no energy left. Come on, man. I saw these motherfuckers come back from 20-something down in a quarter, bro. And within that next one, they already had the lead. Like, come on, bro. This team is just different. This team Pat Mahomes haven't lost to nobody in the playoffs not named Tom Brady. Like, Brady is the only man that's done beaten this man in the playoffs, bro. Super Bowl included. Ain't that crazy? Like, every year of his career, he would have been in the Super Bowl. If not for Brady in that first year, he was a starter. And then he would have won the Super Bowl probably last year if not for the fact that he went up against Brady. Brady got to be the GOAT. Gotta be. He the only thing that's done stop Pat Mahomes from absolutely dominating the league without. He basically the only thing that's done stop Thanos from collecting all the Infinity Stones, bro. Like, that motherfucker Brady is really the GOAT. And I'm telling you, when he retire, which I'm not ready for Brady to retire, selfishly. I done already said I want Brady to go out with either a championship or losing to Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. But I done seen his quotes. I done read them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Listen, this is what I truly believe when it comes in life. What you want to do in life is work hard so that, and I'm not talking about like slave for a job for that minimum wage and no, I'm not saying that. What you want to do is eventually be able to live a life where your job, what you do for a living is what you love to do and you make great money doing it. You can make a great living doing it where you can live comfortably, where you're not living paycheck to paycheck, not worrying about how you're going to get another meal or pay the bill. You know what I'm saying? You hope to have a nice wife or husband, nice kids, and, be able to provide so that they can live the life they live. At some point in time, you want to be able to raise those kids, spend time with your wife, go on dates with your wife. You know what I'm saying? Before you get old and shit. And I'm not saying you can't do that when you old, but naturally when you get older, you don't want to do those things as much because your body don't feel the same. So if Brady is retiring this year because he truly want to be a father now, he want to be a husband and a father, I respect that. I can't even be mad at that. I mean, the man done gave over half of his life to this game so far. Just for our entertainment, bro. It's going to be sad to see him walk away. It's going to be different because that's the end of an era. But, if Brady truly is ready to walk away because he's ready to be a father and a husband, I respect the fuck out of that. I really do. That's admirable. Because at some point in time, and I know some people say, well, he could have been that, the last couple. He wasn't ready to commit to being that yet. And rightfully so. He done been the GOAT for the last couple years. When you that great, it's hard to walk away sometimes. It's hard for people who not the GOAT to walk away. And if you Brady and you still truly feel like you can win, why would you walk away? Because you're ready to be a family man now. I respect that. That's what you hope to achieve in life one day. What Brady got right now. And Brady will be fine. He'll make millions of dollars more after he retired, bro. He'll have, much like Kobe was absolutely unbelievably successful after his playing career. That's gonna be Brady, bro. Everybody's gonna want to interview him. Everybody's gonna want to do like a sit down documentary or something. Everybody gonna want to talk to him about his big moments and shit. I'm pretty sure him and Peyton will end up doing something together. Like, Brady will not be invisible or out of the spotlight when he retire. I just think it will take some time for people to get adjusted. Now, if Brady do retire this offseason, I think Bruce Arians is going to retire also. Now, that's going to be kind of weird for the Bucks because, like, If Brady take a minute to retire, then you'll have to take a minute trying to find a replacement. Because I just don't think Bruce Arians is going to want to start over, especially if he can't get like an Aaron Rodgers or a Russell Wilson. There's no way Bruce Arians is going to want to start over with a young quarterback that's not legit certified already and try to, get better as the he not settling for a rebuild. Bruce like 70 years old, ain't he? Nah, no shot. Bruce will retire before that shit happens. And I know Bruce said one time the TV not for him because he cursed a lot. I fuck with Bruce. Bruce a Hall of Fame coach. I think if Brady retire and Bruce end up retiring behind him, the Bucks will understand and respect that. Like, they're not gonna bitch about it. And they'll probably promote from within. Like, I could see them promoting Todd Bowles, to be honest with you, if Bruce Arians retire. He already know the defense. He already know the players. Probably already will have an offensive coordinator there that he'll end up promoting from within. So that'll be a smooth transition, and he'll be willing to build with a new quarterback and whatnot. Now, I do think he'll end up losing some of the dudes on that defense like Ndamukong Suh, JPP. But you'll still have Sean Murphy Bunting, Devin White, Winfield Jr. So you'll still, Shaq Barrett will still probably be there. Mike Evans will still be there. So you'll still have pieces there to build with. But I think that would be perfect. That if Bruce Arians retired, I think that's probably why they wouldn't be worried about that anyways. Because if Bruce Arians retired, they probably already done told Bowles, like, if Bruce retired, it's your job this year. Like, now I hope that he would end up getting an extension and going ahead and getting like a head coaching contract, not just that interim bullshit for a whole year. Like, go ahead and make the man a head coach for the next couple years, because you know off rip that it's not finna be no great year if Brady retired. Now, it'll be an interesting, he could still win that division because the Panthers don't have a quarterback, the Saints don't have a quarterback, the Falcons don't have a quarterback. So essentially that can end up being the worst division in football. You still have the best defense in that division. And I'm pretty sure Brady looking at that. But like I said, if Brady retiring because he's ready to be a family man and a husband, I respect that, bro. Go ahead and walk away. Because, I mean, what one more Super Bowl won't change absolutely anything on Brady's legacy. It's just like, oh, the GOAT won another one. So I get it. If that's how he looking at it also, then yeah, I definitely get it. Plus, I always think when dudes start to talk about retirement, then they basically a year or two away from retiring. In Brady's case, he could actually be, ready to call it a career. So if this is the last of Brady, then congratulations to the GOAT. Thank you, GOAT. We gotta thank the GOAT, man. Bro, Derek Jeter's retirement commercial was fire. They gotta do a retirement commercial. Under Armour gotta put together some fire shit for Brady, like Nike did for Derek Jeter. You would hope that Under Armour would be able to put out a dope ass commercial for him, unlike them ugly ass shoes they be putting out for Steph Curry. But that's neither here nor there. I just thought I should mention it. But what's some more stuff that's going around? I'm really bothered by the fact that the Raiders is trying to hire Josh McDaniels, bro. That's disgusting to me. Josh McCown might get a head coaching job before Eric Bieniemy, bro. I mean, at this point, if I'm Bieniemy, bro, fuck it. I just stay on the Chiefs and win as many Super Bowls as possible, bro. I'm not leaving this motherfucker till I'm guaranteed the head coaching job somewhere else. Like, they're only gonna have to tell me verbatim, bro, it's your job. We'll do the interviews just for the hell of it, but it's your job. Or if Andy Reid possibly retire, which I don't see Andy Reid retiring while he got Pat Mahomes. Andy Reid know he can run up all the stats and shit on his career if he stay with Pat Mahomes, bro. I don't know how people don't give Eric Bieniemy credit for getting Pat Mahomes out of that slump this year. He had just as much to do with Pat Mahomes getting out of that slump as Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. I even talked about it. What's the purpose of having an offensive coordinator or a coach that's an offensive-minded coach if your great players have to figure out they slumps by themselves, if you can't do anything to help them? That's my problem with Greg Roman. Greg Roman adds nothing to Lamar when Lamar was struggling. When Lamar playing like himself, it's easy to be an offensive coordinator. But when Lamar finally started to struggle and needed some guidance, Greg Roman didn't know what the fuck to do. So I don't understand how you don't break the game down. Like, I'm a fan and I can break the game down and I can break down the situations like that and understand that Airbnb deserve credit. I don't understand how the owners and these GMs don't. And you got dudes getting hired who done far less than Eric Bieniemy. And like I said, bro, Andy Reid shouldn't have had to come out. And I think this is probably like the second time he done ever had to come out and vouch for Eric Bieniemy and tell people like he calling plays. At this point, people just don't give a fuck. They literally gonna have to see Andy Reid without a play sheet in his hand for a whole year, with his hands tied behind his back, walking around on the sideline. That's what they want people to. That's what they want. That's what they want to see. Like, this shit is unbelievable, bro. I probably in my lifetime never seen a coaching candidate this disrespected, bro. Like, it's absolutely crazy. I don't know how Eric Bieniemy do it, bro. It's a cold business, bro. It's a cold business. That's why you got to keep your furs on. It's wild. But I think Eric Bieniemy will be happy, satisfied if they get a dub tomorrow. Sunday, and head to the Super Bowl. I think that'll soothe his stress dealing with these pieces of shit that won't hire him and shit like that. And the crazy thing is, Eric Bieniemy got to remain professional with all this because he still wants to be. Because nobody come into this business as a coach without the aspirations of being a head coach one day. Like, I've never heard of a head coach or a coach that said, "Nah, I just want to be a defensive coach my entire life." Maybe after they was a head coach and it didn't work out, but nobody coming to this saying, "Oh yeah, I don't want to be a head coach and run the whole thing one day." Like, come on, bro, that's wild. that's nuts. It's like I told my homeboy who tweeted me, who messaged me about Lamar being traded. I was like, bro, come on, bro. And the person who he said it to him was this chick who I don't want to say this chick, but I mean, she kind of disrespectful. Like, she don't like Lamar Jackson for whatever reason. It's got to be racist at this point, bro. Like, dead ass, bro. Because she really has no reason not to like him, bro. She just hate the man for some reason. And she a Baltimore fan. And she hate Lamar Jackson. So she started up a rumor, I guess, that Lamar was being traded or was in trade talks. And this motherfucker believed it. And I was like, bro. For one, you got to calm down. If Lamar Jackson was on the trade block or was in trade conversations, the real NFL analysts would have been on that shit immediately, and that shit would have been everywhere. ESPN would have started their shows with it. If it had a broke during the things, they would have had Stephen A. ass back on there talking about it. Shannon Sharp and Skip would have skipped to it. Colin Cowherd would have talked about it. It would have been everywhere, bro. It wasn't. I said, come on, bro. You gotta calm down, bro. You getting information from somebody who just does not like Lamar for whatever reason. You cannot let this angry white woman fuck up your day like this. Lamar's not going anywhere. Just think about the situation. If they trade Lamar, who they trading him for? You're not getting equal value for Lamar Jackson. That's one. Two, what would be the backup plan? 3, who trades a unanimous MVP? Like, come on, y'all. Come on. Y'all thinking about this way too hard. Especially if you somebody who's saying, well, he might not be able to stay healthy. The man got hurt escaping a sack in the pocket. That has more to say about the offensive line than it does Lamar Jackson. Don't let these talking heads on TV who don't watch the games, who just naturally don't like Lamar Jackson, fool you. If you listen to them enough, you will be convinced, because that's all you allowing to enter your head and your thought process. You gotta ignore that shit. Alright? Listening to that shit religiously will have you not believing what you already see and know with your own eyes and mind. Like, calm down. And you gotta understand, some motherfuckers just hate people, bro. I couldn't explain to you why this female, and I know the female's name, I'm just not gonna say it, but I don't know why she don't like the man. Who knows? Who gives a fuck? I mean, that's where I'm at. Who cares? It's about like the Jimmy G situation. Ever since Lamar Jackson has been a starter, they've won. Ever since Jimmy G has been a starter for the 49ers, they've won. Who gives a fuck who doesn't like it? As long as them two motherfuckers winning, their teams will be satisfied. It is what it is. You can't let that negative energy and shit like that infiltrate your day. Because that's all that was. Negative energy infiltrating your day. And you could either allow it to infiltrate your day, or you could laugh at it and say, some motherfuckers just was born to hate. And that's what it is. That's what I did. That's what I allowed it to do. I wasn't going to let that shit bother me. But I can't wait for Sunday, man. These are going to be some exciting fucking games. I think Pat Mahomes and them boys is on one. But I do believe Joe Burrow and Chase could put up some, Jamar Chase could put up some fucking numbers. I mean, that's a scary duo. But Pat Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hill is a fucking, that is the scariest trio I done probably ever witnessed in my lifetime watching football. They like Curry, Clay, and KD, bro. Right now, oh, this is a great comparison. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. That's gonna be too far. But listen. So much content out there. So much. I say it all the time. So much content out there that you could be consuming right now, bro. And you chose to consume this, and I appreciate you for that. I truly do. You don't understand how much I appreciate you for that. Because truly, we just be out here kicking it. That's what we be doing. Now, I am going to ask y'all to do something this time, bro. I'm not going to ask y'all to like, subscribe, bro. If y'all like and subscribe, I appreciate that. But that's up to y'all. I do want y'all to share the content, though. Maybe you don't like it, but maybe somebody else will. I will ask you to do that. If you share this, that will work wonders, because then it'll start reaching people who might want to listen to something new. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. And the more eyes and the more people who I can get to listen, the bigger I can grow, and the more I can start to do with the channel and shit like that. So I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for taking the time out of your night, day, afternoon, whichever point in time you listen to this, to kick it with me, man. I appreciate you. Tell somebody you fuck with it, man. Tell somebody you love them. Saint out.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver, pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga, that's what we do. No foundation, we don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm gone.